We begin with this, a major break in a wild attempted murder case. A man believed to be connected to the shooting outside a Macomb Township mansion is now behind bars. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Hillary Golston.
And I'm Dave Spencer. Fox 2's Lauren Edwards joining us live from Warren, where authorities raided a home tonight. Lauren, how are the neighbors reacting to all this?
They have so much to say, guys. I can tell you that after days and days of searching for that suspect, the investigation led local law enforcement to that home on Rivard Avenue. Take a look and take a listen. Now, that explosion that you hear taking out the front door of a home on Rivard Avenue near Van Dyke in Warren. SWAT team heading inside, and an exchange of shots fired happening just minutes later. Now, the FBI and Warren PD helped out with the investigation throughout the week. Authorities say a 32-year-old man was arrested for his involvement in an attempted murder on Tuesday, October 14th in Macomb Township. Police say that day around 9 a.m. on 24 Mile and Wellington Valley Drive, a suspect is seen on video climbing a wall, then waiting and waiting, then popping out around just after 10 a.m. between two parked vehicles, shooting at a black SUV on the front lawn of a home. Fox 2 learned the home belongs to businessman Eddie Jawad. Since then, police were looking for a dark SUV that the suspect drove away in. Hours ago today, they made an arrest. Tonight, we spoke with two neighbors, one who wanted to remain anonymous, and they both tell us about what they remember most about the SWAT team being on their block.
It just sounded like a house blew up. It basically almost gave me a heart attack. It was crazy.
I was actually in the basement reading, just having my relaxing time like normal, and all of a sudden I just hear this bomb explode, and I'm like, what the heck is that? I thought it was maybe a generator, because that does sometimes happen here. So I came upstairs and looked out here, and there was a SWAT car. There were cops all around the house. They were in the backyard and just had their guns pointing to the attic of the house.
Now, the neighbors tell us that they believe that 4 or 5 people walked out in handcuffs, and that some of them returned to the house later that day, but also that authorities were bringing out large bags as well. So clearly this investigation continues. And if you would like to just take a closer look and dig into the details of this entire case, you could head to fox2detroit.com. Reporting live here in Macomb County, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, quite a scene out there, Lauren. Is it clear what brought police there in the first place at all?
You know, we don't know specifically what brought them there, but they just said they kept investigating, kept interviewing, that they looked at a lot of home surveillance video, lots of videos. And so that's definitely a question that I have for authorities, like what kind of broke it open to that block, what led them there. But someone is being held accountable for tonight.
Yeah, some relief that the manhunt is over. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Well, it appears that the fragile Israel-Hamas ceasefire is holding, at least for now. The temporary truce facing its first major test today after a heavy wave of attacks in Gaza. As Fox's Trey Yinks reports, both sides continue to blame the other.
Israel says it will continue to allow aid into Gaza following violations of a fragile ceasefire with Hamas. And the Israeli military says 2 IDF soldiers have been killed by the militant group during combat in Gaza Sunday. In response, Israel launched dozens of airstrikes into the territory in what is the heaviest bombardment since the U.S. brokered ceasefire began a week ago. Hamas also accused Israel of violating the peace agreement and says the military has not stopped its attacks in the region.
This is the reality. This is the truce. It is a truce colored in red. It is all blood. What truce?
This comes as Israeli demonstrators are demanding the return of dead hostages who remain in Gaza. Over a dozen are still there.
We don't want to go back to fighting, God forbid, but this whole ordeal must end and all the hostages must be returned.
Hamas says the destruction left behind in Gaza following 2 years of war has slowed down efforts to recover hostages' bodies, some of whom are buried under the rubble. Since the ceasefire, all the remaining living hostages have been returned to Israel. And in central Israel, 2 of them were met with a cheering crowd after their discharge from the hospital.
We still can't believe it, that it's reality, and we waited for this moment for 2 years.
Despite the tension, Israel and Hamas say they are committed to maintaining the ceasefire. In Tel Aviv, Trey Yingst, Fox 2 News.
Detroit police are looking for someone who shot a man and then took off. This happened this morning on Metatol near 96 in the Southfield Freeway. That's over on the city's west side. Officers say two men were arguing when one shot the other. The victim's expected to be okay here. We're working to learn more about the suspect and the victim.
A Michigan State Police trooper among 3 people hurt in a crash there. You see the video. It happened this morning on 96 at Fullerton on the west side of Detroit. A trooper was helping with a crash involving one vehicle, and that's when the driver of a Jeep Cherokee lost control and slammed into the back of a patrol car, which then hit the car from the first crash. The trooper and the other 2 were hurt and are expected to be okay. Now, it was raining at the time. State Police tells this is another example of a driver going too fast for wet roads.
Speaking of rain, we needed it, and we certainly got it. Still some wet roads around Metro Detroit, but the storms, they're starting to move out.
Yeah, that's the very good news. But of course, we're trying to see what's going to happen come Monday. Weather Authority Rich Luterman is checking it all out. What's up, Rich?
That's a song, you know, Come Monday. That's,
Come Monday.
Who is that, Dave? That's Margaritaville. That's
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett. There you go. It's coming to me. Yes, the sun returns tomorrow. We have certainly seen clouds and rain over the last 24 to 30 hours, including some localized downpours. But notice this whole storm system is shifting off to the east. Some lingering sprinkles along I-75 in Monroe County, up into the thumb as well. But temperatures are chilly out there. A lot of us near 50 degrees, give or take a few. Live pictures downtown. Of course, tomorrow evening, Monday Night Football returns to southeast Michigan, and the weather looks just fine. Any sprinkles will be ending quickly. We're down to 43, and then here it is. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow, more showery weather for Tuesday and Wednesday, along with even cooler temperatures. We'll check that 7-day forecast coming up in 10. Hillary, Dave, back to you.
All right, the wind and the rain, just another obstacle this morning for runners at the Free Press Marathon, where they were pounding the pavement, going strong. There you see him behind us.
Yeah, hitting the puddles.
Always incredible.
That's right. The runners didn't train for months just to let a little weather stop them. Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly was there, spoke with some of the winners.
On your mark, get set, go! This year's Detroit Free Press Marathon in full motion Sunday morning. Andrew Bowman of Ferndale running full speed ahead of the competition to claim the winning spot of the men's international marathon.
I'm going to call it a homecoming.
It's the second consecutive win for Bowman, who won the men's full marathon last year.
To pull it off again is like a total surprise celebration.
But there is one major difference. Last year, Bowman's wife, Sydney, was the champion in the women's marathon. This year, she did not participate because, well, let's just say her hands are full.
Yeah, we welcomed Liam into the world 3 weeks ago. Part of me hoped he'd come early so I could maybe run in the half marathon or something, but he came right on his due date, so we're here. And Andy had to defend the win for both of us.
Christina Welsh from Florida won the women's marathon this year.
I love Detroit. I've never been here before, but this was one of my favorite races I've ever done. I saw so many different parts of the city, you know. You see downtown, Canada.
The International Marathon is also a win for the city of Detroit.
Last year, I think it was $28 million in economic impact for the city of Detroit. We're on track to do the same numbers this year. Every hotel in downtown Detroit is packed. So folks are coming in to the city of Detroit from every state in the United States and also 41 countries.
And planning for next year's race gets started right away.
I mean, they start preparing the day after this race ends.
And as we all run the race in our own life, this year's winner has some prize-winning advice to help us compete.
Stop looking at everybody else. This is your journey, and it's not about what your time standard is in the whole scale. It's kind of about what your point A is to what your point B is, and then finding the joy that comes with that.
In Detroit, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.